We are still at the campsite here in Lisbon, or just near Lisbon, and we're heading into Lisbon. We had a nice lazy day yesterday, sitting in the sun, relaxing, but today to the city to have a look around. I've just paid for one more night here, which cost £21.95 for another night. That's including electricity. Not the most powerful electric. We can go up to about 2 kilowatt before it trips, but it is okay. We've had worse. Just waiting for Denise now to make it back up here. I think she's locking up, and then we will book an Uber and get to the ferry to go across into Lisbon. Facility wise, quite secure. You got barriers to exit, enter, which is good. We're parked down there, right down the end. Over there there's a restaurant, a bar and laundry facilities, so it's got everything you need. This is the site here. That is our Uber just driving away there. So there we go, that's Lisbon there. That's one of the ferries that we'll be catching in a minute. And the old town of Lisbon is over there, where you see the fort on the top of that hill. That's a really old part of Lisbon. So this is Almada. That is the flight path there, and what looks like the Golden Gate Bridge there in the distance that we came across. And we're walking over, there's Denise.
Morning.
Now we're just walking over to a boat that we saw when we were on the taxi on the way in. Ship, yeah, ship. And also there's a submarine there that we saw. We're just going to walk up to that and then walk back to the ferry. Yeah, massive dockyard the other side of this. Derelict dockyard, it's absolutely huge. There we go. This is the submarine that we saw when we were coming in on the taxi. It's a Barracuda 164, dates to 1969. So there we go, that's the Barracuda. And just the other side of it there is the ship that we also saw. So unfortunately we can't go on to the sub because they're doing work on it at the moment. It won't be open till next year apparently, and they don't know when, so it could be 1028. So we are going to be going on to this ship here. We don't know anything about it, but while we're here we thought we might as well pop on board and have a quick look around. Hasn't cost a great deal. It's cost us €5.20 each. So it's Fernando II. Some of the tender boats here for it, no doubt. On board we go. Quite an open deck this. I was expecting to see something more on here, but really open. Those boxes there that you see, quite surprising, I wasn't expecting that. It used to hold the birds, the chickens, etc., which used to supply the eggs for food on board, and they could also be used as life buoys if necessary. Not sure what would have happened to the chickens inside. Guess it was something to eat when you were cast adrift. Obviously the masts have been taken off at a certain point, but it gives me vertigo just looking up these. I seriously would not be wanting to climb that. You can see on the other mast here how high that actually goes up, and where the rest of the mast would have continued up. Awful. Okay, Denise is about to ring the ship bell. Oh, there we go. So she's rung the ship bell. I think she'll get thrown overboard for that, to be honest, to walk the plank. There we go, there's the toilet on board here, and we thought we had it basic in the motorhome. Some of the tools there that they use to restock the cannon with. So we're just about to go below deck to have a look. Here is the little kitchen on board here. I'm actually surprised they've got a kitchen like this, to be honest. And what happens to the crew on board this ship if they complained about the food they were served? These cannons on board this ship were crewed by 12 men, and they had a fire rate of about 2 fires per minute. So I'm sure they would have been working quite frantically on these. I'd be okay on board this ship. I'm actually walking along, not hitting my head, but I reckon if I was any taller I'd have knocked myself out by now. So this is what this ship would have looked like. This is obviously where the crew on board would have spent a lot of time. This is where they would have ate and lived. There we go, up on the walls, showing the knots that they would have used. Quite complicated knots, some of those. On board ship here, they would have also had passengers that were settling new countries and deportees. These were the medical facilities on board ship, not like the medical ship that we went to see a few weeks ago.
He's giving an eyebrow wax.
Yeah, Denise has just said it looks like he's been given an eyebrow wax. These were the hammocks that the crew would have slept in. Here is the pharmacy. This is actually the surgeon's cabin. The surgeon lived quite well by the looks of this. This was the navigator's cabin with all his equipment there on the desk. Amazing they could sail around the world with basic equipment like that. There we go, that's the wardroom there for the officers. Right, okay, so we just come down again, obviously where the sails were repaired, the rigging was repaired. This is the carpentry area here. I suspect he was kept busy on board here. Must have been an awful lot of work to have been done. Not pleasant working conditions, that. I don't think it was always plain sailing. There we go, so this was the gunpowder room here. As you can see, it's all lined with lead to prevent any sparks igniting it. So in the powder room there, they had no lighting, it was completely dark. So what they used to do to be able to see inside, they would have the lanterns here and they would be kept behind glass, so there was no risk of any spark. It would have still been extremely dark down here, I'm sure. The storeroom here for the mainly dry ingredients that they used to use, I'm sure it would have been extremely basic. Looks like it would have just been port wine and bread. That's not so bad, is it? Oh, and garlic. They also had some garlic there. So garlic bread and port wine. We are now leaving. We had a really nice look around. It was definitely worth the €5 to look around here. So back up onto the open deck again, and we'll make our way to the ferry again and head over into Lisbon. So we've just got the tickets now to get the ferry across. It's cost us €6.80, and we just got across the barrier and we're now waiting for our ferry to take us over to Lisbon. Off the ferry now for a walk into the old part of town. We are walking down the river's edge now towards the old part of Lisbon, and then we'll head up into the city to have a look around. But it's just quite nice walking down here in the sunshine. Not sure what all this is about down here, some sort of art display, all a little bizarre.
The Commerce Plaza is one of the largest in Portugal. In it, the statue of King Jose I, the king on his horse, is symbolically crushing snakes on his path. The Rua Augusta's Arch was built to commemorate the city's reconstruction after the 1755 earthquake. Standing 11 metres high, it was originally designed as a bell tower.
Some of the old trams running along here. Apparently we need to get on the number 28, which we're going to check in a minute. This is Augustus Road here, which is the main shopping road here in Lisbon, which we will walk up in a little bit. We're just going to make a diversion and go and have a look at a few tile shops. In this amazing tile shop here, it's not cheap as you can imagine, but they've got tiles here from the 15th and 16th century. But what a great tile shop. Quite a number of trams leaving from here. So we just jumped on tram number 28, which is meant to be the best route to take. If it is, I'm not sure, but that's what I've said.
Lisbon's tram network is an integral part of the city's transport network, with two different types of trams: the historic Remodelado trams and the modern Siemens trams. The E28 is a classic tram route and passes through many of the historic areas. The trams have operated since 1873 and comprise of 6 lines, with a total length of 31 kilometres. 63 trams are in operation, 45 being the historic Remodelado. Originally horse-drawn, the carriages went fully electric in 1902.
I'm not sure what's happened here, but I think the tram in front of the tram that we're on has had some sort of failure. So I'm not sure what they're going to do now. Oh, we're on the move again. I'm not sure what happened there. How far are we going to get? Well, we're back on the tram to go back down towards the main part of Lisbon. We just wanted to go for a trip on the tram. Back into the centre of Lisbon. We're just heading up to one of the main plazas up here. This is the main shopping streets district within Lisbon, or Augustus Road we're on now. All leading off all the way down here is lots of other shops. It's a really big shopping area here. This shop here, look at the size of these crabs, making me hungry. I absolutely love fresh crab. Love lobster as well. They are absolutely massive lobsters, these. Beautiful lobster. Quite a famous elevator this in Lisbon. It's around 100 years old.
The Santa Justa lift is an elevator in the historic centre of Lisbon. Opening in 1902, it's a major tourist attraction. It has 2 cabins, each accommodating 29 passengers. The lift was designed by Mesnier, a student of Gustave Eiffel, the architect behind the Eiffel Tower.
Up there, on the top of the hill, is the castle in Lisbon here. It's funny when you're in cities like this, we can only ever show so much, or show so much of what we're actually visiting. It would just be impossible to put on a video of everything we see. The videos would be just hours long, so unfortunately we can never show you all that we see. All we can kind of really show you is certain aspects of the cities and give you a taster of the cities, really, so you get an idea of what they're like.
If you enjoy watching our videos and would like to join us on our travels, then click on that like button, subscribe to our channel. It's free to do so, and come along with us on our journeys.
Train going off there. Denise really wants to have a go on it. We don't know where it stops though, so we're missing out at the moment, I think. Just going into this plaza here to see if we can find an open top bus to have a city tour. We are on the yellow sightseeing bus with the seagull, and we are going to have a little tour around the historic part of the city. So here we go. Just been sat on here for about 15 minutes waiting for it to go, but we are on the way. Oh, it looks like we're just moved to come over here to park up at another bus stop. Let's really hope that's not the case. Quite a rocky old bus, to say the least. I feel like we're still on the ferry. All the port for sale down there. That looks like a great shop.
The Marquess of Pombal Square is a point with important avenues leading off. In the middle, a column dedicated to him. It stands 40 metres with a bronze of the Marquess on top. The statesman led Portugal between 1750 and 1777. He carried out many reforms and helped rebuild the city after the 1755 earthquake. The King Edward VII Park is named in honour of the King of the United Kingdom to reaffirm the alliance between the two countries when he visited in 1902. At the top here, the 25th of April monument to mark the Portuguese Revolution 50 years ago. The Belem Tower is a 16th century fortification that served as a point of embarkation and disembarkation for Portuguese explorers. It's built from limestone and stands 30 metres. It became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983 and is one of the 7 wonders of Portugal. Up until the 1755 earthquake, the tower stood on its own island. It moved and is now closer to the land. There are 5 ferry routes running across the River Tagus, saving commuters a long journey being sat in rush hour traffic. Some of the old ferries are being replaced by 10 new all-electric ferries. The first was delivered in March of last year.
There we go, over the other side. Takes about 10 minutes on the ferry to get across. Really efficient service they've got going here. Makes it easy if you're staying on the other side to Lisbon, which I would recommend. Now to find an Uber to get back to the site that we are staying on. Hopefully that won't be too long. See you in the morning. We are now on our way to Setúbal. It's not a very long drive, it'll take about an hour, although we are stopping on the way to get a few bits in a retail park before heading down to there. We're heading to a campsite. There's not a great deal of options in the area that we're heading to, so we've chosen another campsite before we start heading inland again. We're not sure how long we'll be staying here for, a day, maybe 2. We'll see when we get there. See what it's like, see what the weather's like. At the moment it's beautiful, it's quite warm. Shorts and t-shirts, lovely. We parked up here. That shop in front of us, Leroy Merlin, if you are in Portugal and you need to get any DIY supplies, electrical stuff, I would recommend Leroy Merlin. It's the UK equivalent of a B&Q really, but they seem to be everywhere and they might help you out if you need something. Well, we've done our shopping and we are on our way again to Setúbal now. It's not very far, still a lovely warm day. Nice to be back into more countryside than what we've seen for the past couple of weeks, I guess, really now. We've been in towns and cities, so just nice to be back out. We're just 3.5 miles from where we're going to be staying. But really nice here. Mountains ahead of us. A nice area this. And surprising when you think it's so close to Lisbon as well. Looking up at that mountain, hoping that we're not going over the top of it. I don't think we are, but it wouldn't be the first time. Well, there we go. We are heading up the hill, but I don't think it's too bad. I have to say, with all our travelling, we notice different countries and their cleanliness. And Portugal is actually a really clean country. You rarely see litter anywhere in quantities that you see in other countries, such as Italy, Montenegro, Albania being the worst. But Portugal is actually really clean, really impressed with it. It's obviously got a culture here where people, yeah, it's obviously got a culture where people are proud of their country and don't just throw their rubbish down on the ground where they are. So really impressed with the Portuguese. Nice twisty old road we're going down here. So we're not far from the beach
After
now.
about 1 mile, turn.
Big cement factory ahead of us. I really hope we're not parked in front of that. There we go, that is a big cement factory, that one. Yeah, that's always a bonus. We're actually going past the factory now, so
Turn into it just down the road, or?
yeah, we'll probably turn straight into it.
I don't think it is disused. Oh,
No, no, it's still used. It's huge. Massive factory. That's got to be one of the biggest cement factories I've ever seen. Well, if you're thinking about building a house, I'll leave the what 3 words below,
In
so you can
300 yards, turn right
come and get it
onto
from
Rio
here.
Orlando Curto, then keep right.
That's the cement, that is. Okay, so there's a sign there for Campismo. I suspect that'll be the one that we'll be looking to stay on.
Turn slightly right, then in 40 yards, turn left.
So this is the view outside of our lounge window. Actually, it's the conservatory window, isn't it?
It is.
So this chap here, not the one standing there, but the one with the fishing rod, is hiding behind this bush at the moment. He's just caught an octopus. And he had hold of it in his hand. And then the octopus was actually clinging to the wire fence there. I don't know what he's going to do with the octopus. Obviously. We will watch and wait.
It's a really nice warm evening. It's been a lovely warm day. And this is where we're parked up. Portugal is over there. It's a town that we will go into tomorrow to have a look around. And that is us parked up over there. Guy fishing over there, like Denise said, he caught a octopus for his dinner. So we're just going to have a little walk along here and just see what the rest of the site is like. Really reasonable site this. It's costing €13.60 for the night, and that includes 13 amps of electric. Sorry, that includes 16 amps of electric, which is fantastic. To get full power on a site is really good. A really well managed site this. The reception, they were really friendly at the reception. and it looks quite well maintained and cared for. Just come into the showers here and they're absolutely lovely. Look at that. Really nice, a really nice campsite. Going to go around and have a look at the showers. Showers look equally as inviting. Really nice tiles. So yeah, really nice. Impressed.
Okay, so I'm walking around to the ladies' toilets, and I must say, so far, not that I've been in yet, I'm impressed with the outside of it. So I'm hoping the inside lives up to the outside. So we've got here sinks.
Washing up.
For your washing up. Or washboard things again. Obviously, but they're in
Good.
ceramic. This is the ladies. And here we've got 2 toilets. Must be more than that for the ladies. I say. So we've got lovely sinks. They're like marble to me. So 6 of those. Yeah, this is really lovely. The tiles, I don't know if they're the same as the men's, but anyway, that would be your dressing area, your hair drying area. We've got some more toilets this side as well. Obviously shut off some of the toilets because of it's low season, but look at these lovely tiles. How fantastic is that? I am liking these tiles. And the showers, fabulous. How about that? And the light comes on and love the idea of that. Fantastic. Here, I assume it's baby. Yes. Oh, look at that little cute seat. How sweet is that? This is fantastic. I'm liking this green colour. And then out onto the sea again. Beautiful. And then we've got showers here. Also, obviously, I assume when you've come in from the beach, don't quite know how you get to the beach from here because it's all fenced off. Unless there's a little gate or something that we don't know about yet. Ah, that looks like it could be a little pass down there.